Hello everyone and welcome to a 1.3 update for Frostpunk 2. Now this is an early access to the update, available to anyone who owns the game on Steam. Specifically on PC it looks like. It is releasing May 8th officially, but this is kind of a look into it before we actually have it released. We're going to be playing on the Pit, which is a new map added into the 1.3 update along with a variety of other changes that we'll be going over. This is the new Utopia screen that you get. You've got Serenity mode that's been added now, along with Survivor mode that's been there since the start. You still got your ambitions. You can now set it to no ambition. We're going to set difficulty to captain here because we're also going to be taking a look at the new tales added to the game. There are 3 of them. The first one is Beacon of Hope, which you need to provide shelter for newcomers for escaping from a fallen city. You can't see it on the map, but this is tens of thousands of people. And if the Beacon of Hope tale is active, you do not have the Outsider's Law at all, which means your city will be growing while you've got people coming in as well. So that's already tough on its own on Captain difficulty, because we're talking, after about 4 or 5 waves, we're talking a good 25,000 people on top of your natural growth. You easily go over 30,000 people within a couple hundred of weeks. And you can't delay on this. You do get time pressured into starting the process. We're also going to have the Apocalyptic Whiteout, which is, if you thought the Whiteouts weren't bad enough, this makes a very dangerous Whiteout hit you somewhat early into the game. Depending on your difficulty, you have anywhere from 380 to about 500 weeks to prepare. And it is brutal. Your efficiencies are down by minus 80%. The temperature drop is several points higher, and we'll get into temperature shortly. And it is a 200 plus week whiteout. It is a long whiteout, which means if you do not stockpile, you will die. I have done a test run on it with citizen difficulty. Settlements and colonies still work, but I would probably survive and then do colonies. Settlements will be fine, except we're also going to have depleted cores. So this means we cannot find any cores in the Frostland. We don't even start with a core. But there's an IEC core factory right next to the city that if we can find enough parts to restore it, will make cores indefinitely. Now, I did actually have a run I was doing earlier, but it turns out my audio completely bungled up and didn't work. We actually got to the point where we were almost at the whiteout, but we never found the last part for the cores and we just died. So we're going to be doing all those tales on Captain difficulty on the new Pit map to show it and more systems off. I had debated on doing it with Survivor mode on, but I want to be able to pause and take the time to go over the new systems because they have changed how heat works in the game.
Steward.
And I mean, like, they have changed it. If you have played Frostpunk 1 or you've seen it, then you're going to know what we're talking about. So welcome to the Pit. You've got a nice mining area down there that gives some good temperature. You've got the generator right up here, and there's a mountain right to our west. These are the 3 different tales if you want to read into them further, but we've got the cores, the whiteout, the beacon of hope. We have to handle all 3. If any of the tales are failed at any point, your game ends. If you do not get enough of those people or too many of them die, it ends. If you die to the whiteout, that's self-explanatory. Being unable to repair the core factory is technically a failure too, but you'll just, again, die to the whiteout, so that kind of handles itself. Basically, the biggest issue is going to be preparing for a whiteout without cores while handling tens of thousands of people. But first, new temperature system. If you've seen or played Frostpunk 1, this temperature system is going to be pretty familiar to you. Livable and warm are good. Anything below that is very bad. In fact, we have a new temperature map mode as well. For warm, livable, chilly, cold, very cold, and freezing. Anything at chilly or lower for residents, they'll start freezing to death. Workers just fall ill and suffer injuries, but obviously as this gets worse, disease is going to become rampant, people are going to die, and everyone just dies. But if they are warm, your districts will actually get a small efficiency boost, and disease will be marginally decreased per housing district, presuming it has people in it. And it looks like we've started with the laborers this time. My last go, I had the lords in the recording, but obviously we didn't get the recording because the audio bungled up. And so this new temperature system means the strategies have changed already. Normally, you would put like 3 housing district points here, like 3 tiles, and then you would build 3 more outside, because you would just border it with other housing districts, or maybe like this, or whatever you would want to do. Now, because we have math involved with proximity and decimals, it's actually better to do at least 4 of these to get that +1 temperature bonus from being next to the generator. And then you could go further if you wanted to stack this up, because the decimals do matter, but you need a whole number for it to actually take effect. You could do this and then expand more to get at least 2 more tiles, but then you're not fitting as many houses. What we're going to do is kind of coast it like this, and you will see why once we have more housing districts built. It's not going to be clear initially, but we are going to show it. Frostbreaking has also changed. It used to be if you frostbroke even just 1 tile out of 8, you were paying the full cost. The cost is now relative to the amount that you're doing. It is 4 heat stamps and 25 workforce per tile, and you can do however many you want. It is still going to take exactly 2 weeks. So that is one thing to keep in mind. It will take exactly 2 weeks. And no more, no less. I will show you housing districts in a bit too, because that has also changed. But I need to make sure that we don't freeze to death here. So bear with me as we just kind of run through a couple of things at once here. Oh, as I start frostbreaking a single tile for 2 weeks. I am the master of efficiency, apparently. Let's do it like this, maybe. That way we get 2 of them, yeah. There we go. I'm actually gonna ask the foragers for money right off the bat too. Not all of them, because if I ask all of them, then we're getting nothing passed. Nothing will pass. We'll just be doomed. So I don't know why it does trigger like a colder season right off the bat. At least it claims to, but it doesn't actually give you a colder season. It just kind of writes that in like it's trying to scare you. Okay, we do need to frostbreak a bit more because I, in my infinite wisdom, forgot how many we needed. Homeless people can freeze to death now as well. That's a new thing they've added. They have also added in the surplus heat law now, which is a merit and equality law. The heat auction makes it to where warm houses give you heat stamps, and heated commons make it to where less unhoused citizens die from the cold. But yeah, so anyone who's not in a house will just freeze to death. Just gone. Bye. So we're going to go for my beloved durable goods law first, and then promise to pass the foraged additives next time, which should pass relatively easily. We shouldn't have much issues with that. And then we're going to go from there.
The votes are in. The measure passes.
I sure hope it passes. I do have to watch our heat stamps a bit here, though. We're just going to kind of slowly work our way towards one of the logistics districts over here. To give you an idea, though, the geothermal vents still give that temperature improvement. I'd say it's a lot more valuable now. There is a temperature decrease over here on the pit, and then some of the mountainous area requires material demand, which is going to be a pain because that's 10 per tile. So if you put 6 tiles, that's 60 materials every week, forever. All right, housing districts. Those have changed. You now get a building slot right off the bat. You can also, I forgot to show it, and I'll show it with the expansion really quickly here. You can decide where the buildings will go in a housing district. Mostly, this is an early access game or update for a reason. But you can only expand the housing district up to 9 tiles total instead of 6. But you'll get both buildings at 9 tiles instead of just 1. They also show how many people they house exactly, and each district now has a name. If you see here, this is the Enfield district. And we need one more update before it shows the other part that goes with these, so we're just gonna coast along here for a bit, and I will show you that when it is ready. 3, 4, and then we'll just use the last one there so it's all used up. That's gonna get us most of the housing we need, not all of it though. But I think we could actually just do this now, just expand 2 of the, at least one of them so there's no freezing, and get a research institute, which is going to kind of kill most of our funds, so we're going to ask for more from the laborers next. And you might have seen that the community symbols popped up there because each community now gets key districts, and how heated those key districts are does affect your relations. So if you're letting them all freeze to death, they're going to be upset with you. But if they're all nice and warm, they will be a little happier with you than they would otherwise normally be. I want to get to the Frostland to find the cores as soon as possible, because that's what did my last run in, but if we don't set up our little production base, we're just gonna die anyway, so, yeah. Yep, looming coal, that's makes sense. All right, so we have a lot of ideas to go through. There are new heating ideas. Heat utilization reduces the amount of heat needed for each allocation level to give temperature. We'll go into that later on. There's housing insulation. There are now 2 levels of this. Asbestos is still in the game, but that's like your level 2 booster. This is level 1. It doesn't tell you here, but the ability does cost 50 heat stamps and 50 prefabs each time you do it for each district, so we're not going to grab that right off the bat. Honestly, I'm going to go for the salvaging factory, because we're going to need prefabs and goods. And yeah, we're definitely going to need that. I will wait for the next vote before I ask for more money, I think. There we go. Now, we are going to show a little fun thing here. So I just increased this housing district's heat allocation by 1. It is now warm, but did you notice? The Enfield district also became warm, because it is now getting proximity warmth spreading around it from that district, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles border that district that's warm. It's getting another plus 1.25 from proximity. So now if I were to say bump this one up, now look at that. Now they're all warm, because since Enfield became warm, it started propagating warmth over to Bartley. And Bartley is now getting that from 2 different districts. In fact, now we're actually wasting heat. It's a little quirky of a mechanic that I do actually love in the end, but it means that now these districts are warm while only one of them got the allocation increase. It doesn't make sense at first, but you get used to it as time goes on. And now that they're all warm, they're actually getting a marginal decrease to their disease, which is going to help us contain disease here. We actually really should probably pass that merit law next. We'll see. We'll go ahead and start producing goods just to minimize our lost heat stamps here. And actually, when this finishes, I want to take a look really quick. Oh, you may have also noticed this is now just says proposed law. I think it used to show every different type of law here. Now you just click and go into the law book, which I think is good, because I usually click through all the laws and check them anyway. I think it just kind of shrinks the, oh, right, we have the laborers now, don't we? That makes this passing it harder. It makes the screen just a little easier to read. There's less clutter. Okay, I would like to get the heat stamp bonus from this, but I'm going to need the foragers, so we'll have to fulfill our promise of the foragers first. So I was thinking we have 5 places that are really warm right now. 45 to 29. This should pass. We should get 6 hesitants. This is why I wanted to keep decent relations, so that a lot of people would be hesitant instead of opposed, because Captain Difficulty punishes you for having bad relations. And now I'm going to raise funds from the machinists, who are upset from that, but we did keep a promise, and their key districts are warm, which is slightly helping our relations. Very slightly. We are also going to build a second research institute. I know it's a bit early to do that, but it doesn't take heat anymore. And a second research institute will get us over 100%. So instead of taking 17 weeks for a sawmill, it'll take about 9 weeks. It'll be a bit quicker. We are going to run out of supplies in about 30-ish weeks or so as well, which is not great. Not terrible, but, you know, it's just not good. That's why we want that salvaging factory, so we can start making more goods, more prefabs, and then we can focus on the materials down here. But right now, we don't have the prefabs to do things normally. So we're also going to do, kind of pick out a few spots here. And I know it's going to cost us a lot of resources to expand these districts, but the end goal idea here is that by expanding a district or 2, we can prevent anyone from dying from homelessness and have what little trust we have from fading. But also by making them border each other, we can probably make it to where that first incoming temperature drop doesn't really have a negative effect on us. And then we are going to finance this. It's going to take some meat stamps from us temporarily, but it's very good because now we need even less goods. It's good for goods, you could say. It'd probably drop you by 1 and be fine, right? Yeah, there we go. Now they're not using any heat at all. and they're all warm. We're gonna have multiple temperature drops soon, though. I kind of think I should go for the prefabs over here soon, but I think we'll just save up for the salvaging factory in a couple of weeks here. It's probably the best. Oh no, because we're about to run out of coal too, aren't we? Shoot. I think this happened in the last run too. I was gonna run out of a bit of both and didn't really notice. Because that's gonna be 180 heat stamps, and we don't have any to ask for. And if we run out of coal, then literally everything will shut down. So we kind of have to make sure we don't run out of coal. I want to go merit, but equality has some good laws. Although there are a few things we could do first. We can honestly grab heat utilization super early. That's technically would save us 5 heat per level per district. But I think I just bring up the sawmill here because we're gonna need the materials. Then, oh, there are new announcer lines for when the scouts find or finish their objectives in clearing areas, and for when the council meets, which is pretty cool. We'll do the salvaging factory because we're going to build it anyway, so that's just a free promise. And then the machinists want to be granted an agenda, so they're probably going to pass city development effort. And since that gives us prefabs, I'm just gonna agree to it for now. It means not getting the foraged additives for a little while longer, so we're gonna bleed through bleed through our food a bit more, but it's okay. But now we're getting 5 more heat stamps a week from most housing districts. Obviously, once the temperature starts dropping here, we're gonna start losing that, but that squeezes out some more heat stamps than most laws would have gotten us this early on. Which is better than nothing. Something we can use at least. And we are making exactly enough coal to survive. Cool. Alright, that's the lamp upgrade now gone, so now it's up to 15 a week. It's not much, but it's slowly getting us what we need. We're gonna have to just let things run a bit in the background here, because we don't have the heat stamps for the salvaging factory, and that's kind of what I want next. And I'm even gonna skip doing research a bit for it, because I just need that to have the heat stamps. And then we're going to build the extraction district for materials. It is also because the salvaging district can do a bit of both. It can make goods, but it can also produce prefabs. It actually means we can switch the factory over to prefabs. So now we're getting 35 a week. And before I forget, grant them the agenda so they can start. And it's going to be city development effort. I know it is. And I'm just going to let the vote go. I want to replace this later with the heat pipe watch because that gives you a +1 temperature to all housing districts. But for now, the extra 5 prefabs, those will be worth it. The extra 5 prefabs this early on is kind of worth it. We run out of materials in 5 weeks. Yeah, we'll get these 2 next. This is going to be the children event. Always happens. They always get in trouble. So if the temperature is going to drop, you're going to see now where it's saying that we don't have enough heat, because that's because of a lot of places became chilly. Because what happened is each one of these knocked down to livable from chilly, and then they started domino affecting. So this is what I meant by how it can be a little quirky. Because we're going to bump them all up, and then it's going to tell us districts are now actually wasting heat because of the new setup. So it is a little iffy. It's kind of a bit sensitive. And we need it to be +1 more than temperature. Okay, I had to run a test on that really quickly. So we'll go ahead and readjust these again. It does mean that we're actually going to run out of coal in exactly 1 week, which is a bit of a problem. So here's what we're going to do next. Actually, I don't know what we're going to do next. We're going to run out of coal in 2 seconds. I didn't mean to curse there. Wow. It's been a long day. The 2 hours with the recording not working with the audio and then everything else breaking down kind of was very unfortunate. We'll use the overdrive with the generator and show you how that is. It means each of these can be dropped by a level and maintain their same level. So that will stave off disaster temporarily. It's not really going to save us for long. We need to get out to the Frostland at this point, or we're going to suffer immensely. So we're just going to work our way towards that now. I mean, I know it means no research for the moment, but well, actually, here's what we'll do. We'll grab that first coal mine just to save our skins really quickly here, even though we don't have the workers for it. If the workplaces are chilly, they'll be getting cold, but they won't be dying, and the fact they're not dying means it's good enough. For now.
Not contagious.
I'll actually start dropping the prefab factory there to get logistics going, because we're just going to go find a coal mine and use that because we don't have a lot of workers. And then 5 children have died, which is unfortunate. And I like to do the mandatory school, partially because I like reason, partially because what I'm going to later do is then change it over to getting food from it instead. We are going to make the untreated sawmill, so we'll go ahead and get that. And then we are just going to kind of go from there. Yeah.
The eyes have it.
It is going to hurt our heat stamps a little, which is a bit unfortunate, but if we don't solve the issue soon, crime's going to get out of control, and that's a whole other situation on its own. Yep, that's just letting us know. It's sorry, you can pause if you wanted to read that. I apologize. I already read over it once before the recording didn't work anymore. We have run out of food as well. It's basically warning us about the new heat system. That just popped up there is kind of us starting to get negatives because we haven't built the beacon after 50 weeks. It does cost 100 prefabs and 200 heat stamps. It has to be connected to the city by at least a trail. But we need to... Oh, we don't have the IEC factory here this time. We actually have to find it. How concerning. Sometimes it appears in your city proper. It did not appear this time. Not in the city, at least. We're going to ask for funds because we're going to build that dust coal mine. We're going to get all of that running before everything begins collapsing on itself because, my god, it's going to do that very fast. Maybe a bit too fast. And then I kind of want to grab Scout's headquarters relatively early for exploration. I kind of want to get logistics bays, and I think I'll get logistics bays. Just in case to take 600 people, though. Let's grab worker shifts. Because I forgot I had mentioned this in the previous recording. Whether adjusted ships got nerfed, it only makes it to where workers in cold districts or worse fall kill less frequently. I think it affects Chile too, it's just the wording. But yeah, we'll work with that. Okay, that's gonna be materials handled. And now we have coal again, so we can at least make everything livable so people don't protest and get upset with us. And that's coming soon. Oh boy, is that coming soon. And break this open next. Let's see, what laws? We have forged additives, we do. City development effort is in effect. Technically we need funerals at some point. But I am gonna go for the paid essentials because we just need to squeeze out as much as we can. They actually want us to research the Vanguard Logistics Bay. Okay. I can agree with that with the Foragers. But this is why we're trying to keep the relations neutral or better, just so passing the initial laws is kind of easy-ish. If we go overboard demanding funds too much, it's going to become very difficult. But I am going to ask for more from the laborers, which is going to upset them. And I know we don't really have workers at the moment, but we're kind of just planning ahead and planning around. We need how many? 600 workforce? Let's see. Let's clear this up a bit first. I want to expand the logistics district a bit more just to get more exploration going. And then we do need to solve the food crisis before it becomes too dangerous. This is the proteins. Oh, they formed a... I feel like that's a bit early for their formation. Oh, week are we at? 59? Okay. We're gonna promote them then, because I need them to kind of dig in and be ready to go. I guess we will slightly reduce our goods production here, because if I don't get the food to stay at minor, if it gets worse than... If it gets to notable, we're gonna have people start starving to death, and that's really problematic. It should be about the proteins appearing at the Research Institute. Yep, that's exactly what it is. We still have the overdrive running. I forgot about that. Time to play around with this. And drop by 1 level everywhere that is wasting heat. Some can drop it twice. That is going to start derailing our production a bit, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll be fine. We're going to be okay. I actually need to deviate for the hothouses really quick because, again, we need to solve the food. Which, I'd like to note really quickly, they have made it now to where any modifiers like a loss from beta essentials will tell you how much it is now going to make in the research tree. So this is a nice little change. I like that. It might not be much to some, but I like it quite a bit. I think it's just the coolest thing. Okay, maybe not the coolest thing, but I think it's pretty useful. Oh yeah, we didn't really finish expanding these, did we? Yeah. Also means we can frostbreak with almost no workers. We also just had some unhoused citizens die, which is not good, but oh well. I say oh well as if that didn't matter at all, but I think it matters quite a bit. Oh right, because it's this one that we're expanding. Gotcha. Growing hunger, that's not good. That means people are going to start starving to death soon.
The Proteans.
Still growing. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. One of these must be the factory, right? Coal mining complex, hunters, oil. Yep, there's the IEC core factory. Okay, that's good. Crashed wagon. First things first, we're gonna get to that coal mine really quick. Then explore some food while we work towards the beacon's entry point. It's gonna be on this side of the city. I don't plan to build it all the way around the city. Machine-centric shifts are up, and we are going to... Right, the forgers have a promise. Research Vanguard Logistics Bay. Okay, we can't do that. Can we swindle some laborers? We could, but yeah. So the law will fail if I do nothing. But I can't get the research. Let's let a couple weeks tick here, because I've got to focus on this. Hunger is getting large. We might actually have our first deaths already. Well, I guess we did. The homeless died, but I'll tell them that. Yep, and there's our warning that if we don't build it in the next 50 weeks, we will automatically fail. So we're gonna raise some funds and build it. Right, we need to connect it to the city, so we really need to get a move on then. So we're gonna go ahead and just do that right now. Bio-waste hothouse. We'll get the Vanguard Logistics Bay now so we don't fail that. And I think the research will take too long. So the law is probably just gonna fail. I might just let that tick in the background while I deal with everything else. I did forget that we were messing with this and that it kind of bounced back and forth. Yeah, welcome back to difficulty of Frostpunk 2. Okay, there is a bug. Sometimes it will still say they're chilly when they're not chilly. Like, something just needs to update that hasn't really updated yet. I'm not sure how to go about resolving that. We're going to increase a lot of these, but we're actually going to greatly reduce our employment in the coal mine. So that way these workers can go elsewhere, such as feeding everyone. We're going to build just one because I don't want the food to run out too fast. Okay, that's a contagion prevention event. Let's focus on the beacon, because if we don't get that soon, we're just gonna lose. Hunger is going down, at least. Okay, that's open. Now we can connect it this way. Just gonna temporarily pause the coal mine. Just long enough. I only need it paused for a week. We've got enough for at least a week. We about done? Yep. Start that back up. Then we just need the heat stamps, and we've got 32 weeks. Okay. I don't want to ask them this early, but I am going to have to ask the proteins for funds. Oh, I almost gave them money. That would have been bad. Just so we don't fail. And the first wave, we'll get an update on that shortly, is in 36 weeks. Oh boy. So now we focus on exploration in the meantime. Yep. Do that, get them all to be warm, find the ones that are now in excess, and drop those down. And I do believe we have at least one that we can expand still. We do, we just need the heat stamps. It's always heat stamps. Having our unhoused citizens slowly die out is really problematic, but there isn't much I can do. This is now using up too much heat again, so we'll drop that. Okay, we found a source of food. And one of the IEC convoy stuff, but we have to actually explore the factory itself before we can start doing those, and we're going to need to get on that as soon as possible. Because last time, RNG just murdered me multiple times on that, and I just failed because of it. Okay, do we have... Oh, not yet. Yep. Welcome to the difficulties of Frostpunk. My goodness. We're already in trouble, or it's not even week 100. Now we can start exploring these. The severely ones require prefabs, though, so without a proper setup of prefab production, that will just choke us out very fast. So we'll explore an area that apparently has some, and then we're going to make some setup preparations once we have the money. Always money. Actually go for less materials here, just to make sure we have enough coal. Keep things barely running. I need to build that Vanguard logistics bay at some point here. But now that we have access to our merit laws too, I would like to get the unproductive do maintenance, just for the efficiency, but also to make materials less needed. And then this is an event for the incoming Apocalyptic Whiteout. Basically, it is going to be a big one. It's like Great Storm levels of, oh no. Just imagine the Great Storm at 200 weeks. Not fun. I guarantee you. That opens it up, that's not enough. I have to grant them another agenda. I'm worried about what they'll try to do with it. If I don't cross anything else, that probably goes. I was thinking of getting machine-centric shifts just to reduce our workforce need, but we're kind of already in a bad spot, so maybe we'll just grab the merit law instead so we don't get the failure event for it later. Because we are going to build that Vanguard logistics bay, we may as well make a promise for it now so we do it soon regardless, no matter what. There we go. That's going to add a little bit of tension, but it will solve that, and it should prevent disease from getting out of control. For now, at least. Need 600 people. That's okay. We'll get a ton of them in 27 weeks. And remind me that I need to get dense housing, like, now, as soon as research is done. That's going to be the only way we survive that kind of wave. This is basically an event where you can either make hospitals cost 50 less heat stamps, make them take 50% less workforce, or 25% less of each. I've been taking the one where it's 50% less workforce, but given the intensity need of heat stamps, I'm actually going to ask the 50% heat stamp cost reduction, because that's probably what we really need, honestly. actually free up workers from here to get the logistics bay going so we can explore faster. Well, more at once. And this is an event talking about a future without cores. It mentions how we might struggle to generate enough heat to keep everyone alive, and that's very true. The generator has a capacity of 750 heat production, and unless we upgrade the generator, that's not changing. That's not going to get any better. It won't get any higher. So it's not kidding when it says that we might not be able to keep everyone safe, so to speak. So, injuries are fine. We can handle injuries here and there. But, let's see if there's anywhere else we can explore first. See, I don't know what that's going to lead to, so that's why I don't want to explore it yet. I don't think oil would help us, but it would unlock a lot of areas to explore really quick. Just get a couple of those areas going at once so we can spread out, figure out where everything is. And then they want us to research the survivalist headquarters, another thing we were going to do. We're just going to use the foragers to get a lot of the votes over and over again, because we intended to do a lot of this stuff anyway. We intended to go for adaptation. So we're just going to keep giving them those promises there. Not having the machine-centric shifts does kind of suck, though, but... Well, we can't win them all. Proteins are temporarily devoted. I say temporarily because their support will not last. They will find a reason to be upset, I assure you. But for the moment, we can enjoy that 2 heat stamp a week. Just gonna try to finish harvesting those, though. Some injuries may occur. Searching requires prefabs. I know we need to get the searches going here, but we can fail a lot, so what we're going to do is get the prefab production set up. Just because we've only found 2 as well at the moment, we don't even have 3 of them. And look! Refugees! Many of them are sick and injured. It says half, but I'm just going to say many, because that makes it sound worse. I mean, it's not that far off, honestly, if I think about it, but it makes it sound worse. So we're just going to go with that. Why we're researching the dense housing block now. And there's the Legionnaires. Oh boy, the Legionnaires. We'll see how that one goes. Unrest in the city, research equal pay. I kinda don't want to hit ignore because they're gonna get upset, but I'm gonna have to do it anyway. My hope here is just the whiteout hits before we actually have the Civil War and just ending it that way. But mandatory crowding would be good. I did mandatory crowding the last go here, and it did help quite a bit, but I'm wondering if I should grab merit-based housing. Just for the extra heats. You know what? We'll go full force on it. I think we're going to need a heat stamp. This time the laborers are here. Oh well. Just shut that down then, because it's causing places to suffer. Okay, so for this season, we are actually just going to use the overdrive to get to the next bit. That way we're not burning through our coal stockpiles. Well, our limited coal, I should say. Less of a stockpile, it's more of a limited use. These all expanded now. We've at least done all of them, because last time I didn't expand one of them. Okay, good. In that case, we're going to get at least 1 dense housing block going, because we're about to get a ton of people. And we'll build a second one, because again, we're about to get a ton of people. So this might seem like overkill, but it's about to not be. As for their protest, the Legionnaires, can we get guard enforcers? No. I assumed not, but I had to try. I had to take a look. We'll use funerals at some point. So we'll probably use the proteins this time to put it down before it gets out of hand, because now people are going to freeze to death otherwise. Good old factions, making sure they always target the worst thing possible so someone dies. Because of the Steward. It's always the Steward's fault. Wait for these planes to finish. Pouring ice on fire, that's fine. Huge herd. We're going to explore the hills here and see if we can't find more. If we can, great. If not, oh well. Right, we need to research the survivalist headquarters next. I knew I was forgetting about something. We'll raise funds from the foragers since they do like us to a decent extent. It's nothing perfect, but, you know, we can utilize it.
Steward.
And, of course, our population is still growing naturally on top of the newcomers arriving. The first convoy, in fact, did just arrive, and we're going to click out of this so you can see that about 4,200 arrived, on top of the 1,200 or so population growth we just had. Yeah, this is going to stress you. It's going to stress your economy and everything in between. That's why we got the dense housing blocks. Although this is going to skyrocket disease, without it, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So we'll do a coordination of patient care. That's going to get half of the sick and injured that just arrived to no longer be sick or, you know, injured. Which is at least workable. You see this fell back down. I'm not sure when that happened. I wasn't paying attention. There we go. But I get... Oh, I know why. It's probably because the protest that occurred knocked one of them down. And then it knocked all of them down because the controls were probably wonked out. I don't know. It's, you know... It's a work in progress update. It's not going to be perfect. Unfortunately. I wish it was. But it can't be. I'm going to be upset about the whole being attacked thing. I'm going to do this. It's going to add a little bit of squalor, but it's going to give that a little more heat. Because we're going to need to make more a second salvaging factory just to keep our heat stamps flowing here, because the unmet goods demand is really killing us. Oh, we got the sick newcomers. So it'll roll random things like sick newcomers or starving newcomers, and that will cause a temporary, thankfully a temporary modifier that is going to add an additional negative to your city's stats. So it is something you kind of just have to deal with. And deal with it, we will try. God, I don't really want to promise any of this. How much longer on that? 6 weeks? 5 weeks? Okay. I don't like it, but we'll rush the research. That way it's done much faster here. Yep, I figured that was going to be a colony or something over there, but I figured we had to try. Just take a look. Actually, oh yeah, there's a bit of a UI bug there, but this will give us 110 food for 100 weeks. That'll stop them from starving at least. We're actually going to wait and see if passing this law here just solves our issues with housing. Keyword is if. Now they want us to construct it after researching it. I can agree to that. And I am actually going to... No, I don't want to do any of these. Okay, we'll just go with that then, and we'll hope that's enough, but that's still 7 votes we're missing. Oh, that was scary, because it, like, slowed down for a bit. Okay, now we just need one more dense housing block for our current size. And then we're just going to accept this, even though it's an optional, because if we decline it, trust falls. I'd rather just grab the marginal. It's basically, if we improve the outpost for a big cost, it'll make the future ones, it would make the future groups less sick. This time we've got 5. Last time I did this, I got 4, but it could just be, it depends on how much time we have till the whiteout, perhaps. Yeah, that 750 heat stamp cost is steep. We have prefabs, but we need a lot of prefabs for our searches that we'll be doing soon-ish. Just not right away. We do need skyways for it later. To connect all the little core outposts. I guess we could start researching the hospitals. That's a bug. It's not minus 50. It's not like it's minus 50 a week. It's just taking 50 off the hospital's construction. Recovery would just make our population grow more too. It's a side note, which I don't want. We have to build 3 for the quest, but also the spikes in disease we're getting from their arrival this time makes it even more prudent to go for first.
Steward.
40 weeks before we can do the next one. Okay. It should cost 50 heat stamps? It does. We'll build one right away just to contain disease because it is getting out of control from the new sick newcomers. Also, the dense housing districts with the sick newcomers are just adding to the fire.
Steward.
Ah, right, we had turned the overdrive on. We'll just kind of turn it off and turn it on again so we don't get the falling trust, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that because last time in the previous recording I didn't keep an eye on it and it kind of went kaboom and my trust never recovered. I didn't lose because of that specifically, but, you know, trust never recovered and that was a bit of a problem. We're just trying to hold out a little longer. Alright, that is a scattered one with low chance, but we may as well search that one right off the bat. It takes some 50 weeks, and we have 237 weeks, so we'll start that process now. And 17 prefabs a week. We'll go ahead and start searching one of these, because I think it's 15. So we're not going to get more prefabs, essentially, but we're not going to have what happened last time I did this, where I ran out of prefabs because I used too many at once. That was a disaster. Work compensation would be something to pour into. We've most effectively got merit. The efficiencies are always good. We'll grab Skyways, though. We are going to kind of need that. And something to handle. Have some spikes of disease. Guess we'll just build the 3 that we need now.
Are you listening?
Aware that the overdrive. There is no need to be alarmed.
We're not gonna hold that this time. There we go. Those are ready. I guess just encourage the initiative. Not that it's gonna matter. There we go. Warmer season. Everything gets up a little. As you can see, we're starting to reach an issue where the generator is producing as much heat as it can, and now we don't have as much heat as we'd like. So we're gonna kind of just, again, we're gonna just fiddle with it here. We have to because we're on captain difficulty, and if we don't do this, we're going to die. So, yeah. We're gonna need to get heating improvements very soon. We've got the next wave in 11 weeks. Why couldn't it be 4 waves? That would give me more time. You also might notice Beacon of Hope now has an objective where we need to keep our depths below 4,000. And if we get above that, well, let's just say things don't end well. The game ends. I won't sugarcoat it. The game ends. That's what will happen. I'll actually get efficient circuits next year because that will free up a bit of heat for the generator to utilize. That's dangerous. Dangerous as in injury? Yes. We're gonna run out of coal in 3 weeks. And I have not found another deposit yet. Broken Mountain has one. Uh-oh, they all require a larger group than we have. That's not good. Because I think we're running on a slight negative. You see we forgot to do this. Set this up as well. Suddenly there is no. Last time I had found 2 additional coal deposits, so I didn't really have to worry about coal that much, but it looks like we're going to have to worry about it a bunch this time. I think we'll be okay. Can we switch to Heat Pipe Watch? I was going to build another salvaging factory anyway, so I can promise that, but I need another one. I don't think machine-centric shifts are going to pass, but I'll promise and give it a try. We need to switch to Heat Pipe Watch. we can survive without those 5 prefabs now.
The delegates have spoken. The law
It'll make it easier to keep all the housing districts warm. Oh, that was the heat stamp one. I should have read that. You guys can pause and read it, but I have actually not seen that one that popped up. Darn. Oh well. Ah, man, that sick newcomers one, I thought it'd be gone by now. I hope we're not gonna get double whacked by that. That would really hurt. And this is gonna run out in 14 weeks. Wow, we're not doing so good on coal. Should have explored for it sooner. Although disease is kind of ravaging the workforce, which is a different problem. I was going to say new problems if that was somehow new. Okay, there we go. That has greatly reduced our coal needs, except for the fact that this is going to run out soon, but don't let them know that. I guess I'll research housing installation 1 as well, just to prepare for it, but we need to build that salvaging factory at some point. These weakens our workforce, I know. Oh, why did this all fall down again? It's a little iffy, I suppose. I guess it did just change. It might have dropped the settings, perhaps. I'm just guessing, though. Now these are all warm. That should help contain disease, except for the fact that we get new people in 3 weeks, and we have no additional housing built for them. But it's okay. 16 weeks. I guess I could ask the machinists, but then they'll be upset. I guess I will, though. That's a lot of money, and do need it.
Steward.
Okay, this time we got the famished one. Does that mean the other one is gone now? Yes, okay. So the sick newcomers is gone. We are now going to suffer an additional 70 food demand. That's just arbitrary on its own. But that's okay. We can handle that. It means disease is going to collapse and we're not going to have to worry as much. It just means that we're going to have the workforce that we should. I'm just going to take my time here for a moment now that we've passed one crisis and went straight to the next one. We need second coal extractor. We're about to run out of one of those. We need another salvaging factory. Then we need a dense housing block. We need 2 dense housing blocks, but we don't have the prefabs for all of that.
Dates of the learning process.
Coarse mineral fill is done. Then I think we research a law next. Yes, I think we do work compensation for the efficiency bonus to get more production out. I think we have to. There it is. I was wondering how long it would take for that to trigger. That is going to reduce our food needs for a bit. It's not going to contain it, it's just going to reduce it. 41 to 47, wow. Okay, let's charm the foragers into agreeing, because I need that workforce requirement reduction. That 10% reduction would be great. I know we're going to get a ton of people, but we're in a situation where I have to build a lot of buildings and minimize the amount of districts we're doing. Just because of our heat issues. There we go, because I've got more workers now, I can pop them in despite the illness that a lot of them are suffering from. Promote you just to make them a bigger chunk of the council. It means it'll be harder to pass things the Legionnaires like, but it'll make it harder for them to oppose me. So. Yeah, politics. We're helping one side to hurt the other side, basically. So it looks like it is not one of the ones we're looking for. Nothing of significant value, but it has goods. Okay, we'll come back to that later then. Dang, okay, I hope we don't roll a bunch of failures in a row like I did last time, because that was unfortunate. Don't worry, this is only costing 15 a week. I know it said it was screaming it was going to cost like 750, but that's not the actual case. It means we're not really making prefabs, though, which I don't like. But there isn't a whole lot we can do about that right now. Citizens are dying, that's normal. I mean, it shouldn't be normal, it just is. Yep, there's the population increase that makes all my efforts wasted. Because now I have more unhoused people, and those unhoused people dying is causing the timer to tick upwards. The next one's in 27 weeks already. Jeez. Okay. I know this is gonna hurt our heat stamp income to have less goods, but 26 a week is fine. I need to print prefabs badly right now. More districts. I'll allow the allocation just because that's how I feel, even though it's gonna hurt us even more. We could do privatize alcohol to get trust, I suppose. I mean, we have trust now, but that's assuming our relations don't collapse, and last time they collapsed. Though that was by my own mistake, rather than the game doing something to me. Let's get experimental treatment. Conservative would technically give us more, but oh dear. I just saw that fluctuation. I understand what's happening now. These sudden shifts and drops are because we don't have enough coal, and it's adjusting automatically by containing some. Yep, that's what's happening.
Steward.
I really don't want to ask for proteins for money, but we're kind of at that point where I have to. Or disease spikes, crime is rising because we haven't built any of those, yes. We haven't built any watchtowers yet. Got a bit of time before we start dropping in temperature, so this is kind of the phase where we can prepare or we die. Whichever comes first. Efficiency bonus? Okay, good. That's something we do need. Always gonna build another Vanguard logistics base, so we'll promise that. This will give us some efficiency, which should at least help us produce some more goods, prefabs, coal. Doesn't replace the fact that deposits are running out and I need deep drills, but yeah. Actually, I really feel like we need more prefabs, but I'm being pressured by crime to switch back to bring it back down, and citizens are still dying. And we get more people in 18 weeks. Jesus. This sudden just absolute spike in population is what's killing us. Well, that and not having steam cores, that kind of does it in too. Got a new coal deposit we can utilize though. That'll help a little. Right, yes. Sorry, I went silent for a bit there because I was kind of reading. Wow. We're gonna have to research watchtowers next and build at least one of those just to suppress crime due to population size. And debate on building a second one of those. Why did this... Deactivated needs repairs. What happened? How did wear spike so hard? What caused that?
Remember.
Okay, we did find an intact convoy. That's good news. I'm confused as to why the food district suddenly just broke. And I can't repair it. That seems like a bug. Give me just a moment. We're gonna save. We're actually gonna overwrite the old save of mine here. And then we're gonna just reload really quickly, because unfortunately this is kind of the early access to the update. So it's a beta. Betas are unstable. Betas are buggy. This is why we play them, so we can find problems and point them out before the actual release, so they can be solved ahead of time. I'm just gonna make sure our recording software is still up, and it is. Last time that this happened, it was not. Okay, now I can repair it for T. Let's ignore that. Okay, so we have one of free found. We do need to connect it, but until we find the others, there's not much point. Okay, we're gonna have to just disband this district and rebuild it. Something broke on its end, and we're just gonna have to live with that. Try heating up a lot of these other districts for now, just to see if we can contain the spread of disease a little. I've been trying to save the resources, but right now I think we just need to pressure disease. Also means we'll be getting more prefab again for a time. Cold cuts. If your workers get injured during low temperatures, I will just ignore it. I don't want to cause any more efficiency drops on top of what we've already done. Do we not just have people, or... Oh, 200 prefabs, right. Yep. I understand what I was reading. Get more people in 6 weeks, I don't have the prefabs to build all this. But I can switch the schools over to giving us more food, which is going to help a little. Not a lot. We aren't doing research, that's bad, but it will help. I can't do any of the goods and prefabs tech because we don't have steam cores, so those are useless to us. Okay, what if we just do waste heat conversion, I guess? I really don't want to do recycling because more disease is the last thing we need, but efficiency's not going to help either. Yeah, this is a problem. Okay. We could use heating hubs, that's true. But pre-prep the generator upgrade, but I don't think it's going to work. We just grab advanced housing insulation now, so when we're ready to do the upgrades, it'll be a 2-pointer instead of a 1-point. What did I promise the foragers? Right, Vanguard Logistics Bay. See, I forgot I was going to build it, and they basically just reminded me to go build it. That's why they're actually there, to remind me to do things. Okay, I guess we'll bring these goods back now since we have the extra scouts, just to temporarily buoy our search. And then that's going to be dangerous. It's going to cause some injuries, but we'll be fine. We'll get through it. I'll wait for the next group to arrive before I do the patient care. And the foragers want another survivalist headquarters built, which I guess we can do. Yeah, that'll get rid of the danger. It means we won't need the scouts law to get rid of it instead. This will slightly reduce disease.
The delegates have spoken. The law takes effect.
Which isn't perfect, but it's something that we have control over at least. Huge herd is about to deplete, and our materials just depleted. So this is going great. This is going great. Yep.
Steward.
Oh, active vandalism. That's why I got damaged last time. I forgot that was a thing. Why did I hit convince? Well, at least now I know why it happened last time. Shame about all the prefabs it took, though. Bystanders injured, 4,000 newcomers, severely sick. Jesus, what just happened?
Steward.
Coordinate patient care. About half of that back under control. Let's try to figure out what's going on here. This was not one either, but it has food. Okay. More explorations we go, then. We have a new one to search as well, but we're going to try to get those others searched through quickly. That Whiteout's almost 200 weeks already. That is terrible. How fast that's coming. And now we don't have prefabs, and we don't have materials for prefabs. Cool. And we do not have... We have nothing, basically.
Warning. Unjustified visits to infirmaries will be punished. Make way for the severely ill.
Oh, boy. Can we get a rule law in here? 77-4. I was just joking, you know what? Yeah, give me the guard enforcers then. That way the next protest I can put down myself. Make them more effective at putting down crime, too.
Hear ye. The delegates have
Well, maybe eventually.
the
Yeah,
law
we'll see
takes
for that one.
effect.
I know we need more housing, but I also need to contain the protests there. Do we have another little bump there where it kind of fell down? Yep. Playing with a balance like this is not ideal, but it's been minimizing the amount of heat that we actually need. I don't know when this drop happened. I assumed it just happened. Because, oh, yeah, it definitely just happened because the one housing district got knocked offline due to vandalism. That's when it went offline. No. I'm not taking that. Last time I took that, I failed.
Breakthrough.
I'll just focus on prefabs for the moment there. Oh, the sick newcomers is kind of destroying us here. The Whiteout is also... Is that 126? No, 176 weeks. I can't read. We have heat stamps for the research. We may also research something. I guess just production efficiency since we have the crust to lean on. And I'm gonna have to just get something else here in a bit to drop disease, because disease is out of control. Crime is diminishing at least. 100 unhoused citizens are dead. Yay! Oh, God. This is something that changes your emergency shifts for the Apocalyptic Whiteout event and everything, like more disease, but more efficiency, more workers, but more efficiency. I guess we'll just take it. It's just gonna change how our emergency shifts work if we use them. I generally kind of skirt around not using them. Some injuries may occur, search requires prefabs. I may as well start it now, because I don't know if we're gonna find it. We've only found 1 of 3. And then, I guess we'll start you now, since some of them are done. And it takes 50 weeks for that one. It's such a low chance, though. Another one that's a low chance, but I don't have a choice. We're just gonna have to search it and hope. Hope that we get the dice roll. Because what failed me last time is I failed the dice roll many times in a row. The biggest thing is, I know the dense housing blocks are increasing disease as well as a bunch of other buildings, but that extremely increased from sick newcomers is not helping. Nor the fact that shelter scarcity now increases disease, because it did not do that before. Just, ugh. Yes, play the sad music in the background because we're all going to die if I can't get this under control. Yeah, I'm getting a little confused as to why this is making 2 heat stamps a week. I don't think it's meant to be doing that. But, okay, sure, I'll take it. I'll take your extra heat stamp. Okay, what else can we research that would help us? Technically, I could do scouts training, I guess. to get the territory threat level down, and then we'll just remove one of those buildings. No, that's not something we should be focusing on. Let's get the generator research upgrade done now, even though we can't do it. We can't actually build it yet, just so the moment we have those cores, we can just hit the ground running. Because I think I think we're gonna have just weeks to spare before the whiteout hits. And that's another thing, is I don't have a stockpile built. It's easier on the easier difficulties because you have more time. You don't have that here. You don't have that kind of time. And that's a bit of a pain.
A new law.
He's the chief physician. We'll see if he finds the cure or kills some 17 people. And we're gonna live with whatever that result is. Another one that might search. Whoa! Okay, my mouse was moving me, and I didn't realize it. I was just getting yanked around like I was on a chain. Okay, we're searching We're searching 4 areas. We just need 2 of them to come up with something. The problem is that their chances are not great. We're kind of bankrolling on one of them finding something while we start stockpiling resources for the whiteout. Not that what we're stockpiling now will be enough, it's just a decision of desperation. It's catastrophic and growing. Jesus. I didn't want to build more teaching hospitals because I didn't think we'd need them, but at this rate I'm just gonna have to build 2 more just to get disease under control, or else we're gonna lose our whole workforce and have everything collapse. Oh good, it's stable now. Fantastic. I'm glad to see our efforts have borne almost no fruit. God, okay. Let's research the emergency medical hub. I think we're gonna have to start putting some of them down. Then it should be 50 each, right? Or does the upgrade change it? The upgrade does not change it, it's still like a +2 change. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking of doing. They're all livable right now, right? Everything's added where it should be, except the prefab district here, which we'll just quickly utilize to squeeze out some prefabs from for a few weeks. Not gonna use that spot there because we're gonna build an emergency medical hub right there. Okay, and then the maintenance hub we're actually going to need during the whiteout because of the demand it's going to cause later for materials. Emergency medical hub, that is going to drop 3, 5, 7, 8 pips of disease. It is not perfect, but it's probably the only way we get this under control. I know it's diminishing now, but we're about to get hit in 18 weeks by another group. Let's hold off on that for now, actually. Severely damaged. How many prefabs are we making? 51. Search it. Does that mean, yep, this one finished and it did not find one? Okay. Planes have one. Let's hope we find one soon then. We are kind of running out of time and running out of options.
Try to avoid the surveillance watchtowers. That's the behavior of those with some...
Yes, he found the cure. Slight decrease to disease. It is not much, but thank goodness.
Steward.
I think this at least means we can get disease somewhat under control. Then I'm gonna see, can I get Steward's militia? I can. We're gonna do that because I forgot this is the one that makes guards more effective at fighting crime, but it also lets us start recruiting from the factions to get more guards once permanently. This should make crime much easier to control.
We are calling
So
you,
that
Steward.
should, I'm not gonna say that's gonna be the end of crime, but it should make crime less problematic. We fade back to white here because we're not gonna be lynched yet.
The
It's gonna eat up our prefabs, but I am going to start upgrading some. I'm not going to do all of them, but the ones around the generator, I'm going to start upgrading those with their insulation, so the temperature drop doesn't change it, and they can keep propagating warmth to the nearby districts they border, which should at least allow us a small sense of stability. Not a lot. We're actually going to get Squalor Containment next, too. Just so this, like, bordering Squalor production over here with the housing district is not as strong. Newcomers arrive in 12 weeks, so let's build at least one dense housing block. Then, what else we need to build is start investing. Where is my food? I know we don't want more districts because those demand heat, but if we don't start thinking about stockpiles, we're going to die. That's not a joke or an exaggeration. The whiteout will kill us. Oh, right. So, the districts do get a bit of a different look. They're a lot more blocky once you've kind of insulated them here, compared to the neighboring district right here that isn't as locked out. They're kind of bleeding into each other a little. But it is a direct... Since we have the upgrade, it's +2 district insulation instead of +1. So the next 2 temperature drops will actually not affect it at all. Which is why it's worth considering the others, but since we just used up a bunch of our prefabs, we're not going to consider that just yet. We'll see if I can get away with switching goods over a bit. Crime's going to grow a bit. I just need more prefabs to build a second district for industry. Yes, let's do it here, actually. Because if we make both of these warm, they could potentially keep each other safe, but I don't know if that will work. Let's move towards the Bureau of Prop... Nope, they are not happy anymore. Okay. We still haven't done funerals, actually, so we could do funerals really quick. Research moss filtration tower, that's not hard. I could do that. Maybe build one of them just to get Squalor gone. This is going to help research a little, but more importantly, harvesting funerals gives a slight reduction to disease. Which, in case you haven't noticed until now, is a huge problem. What's this? Some fatalities may occur, but at this point, I'm desperate. Search it. People might die, but oh my god, more are gonna die if we don't find it. It is gonna cost us, though, because those deaths will count for our death counter. So, it's gonna suck.
A decision. A new law takes hold.
Running out of coal again. We actually haven't stockpiled any coal. That's scary. Build it right there. So, oh! I actually missed one of the generator ones that I thought I had upgraded. So the entire thing kind of collapsed inward. Well, that's building. We'll upgrade more of them here, yeah. We do not have any more to spare. 7,000 new newcomers arrived, some sick and injured. Oh, we didn't get any, like, special... Oh, no, there it is. Extremely increased by sick newcomers. Well, let's reduce that a bit. Where are we at? -70? That is more than expected. But, find a way to deal with it, as we always do. Gonna warm this up, because if these stay freezing cold, they're gonna just start dropping dead, and that's not an exaggeration. The residents will actually start to die in there. No, I don't want your heat stamp suggestion. Go away. I'm just gonna spend our new prefabs on insulation here. And switch this back over to goods again, just so we don't run out of too many heat stamps, but also so crime doesn't grow too large. We've actually contained disease. It is growing back up because of the new temperature spread, but we are kind of containing it, which is good. It's good to see. This one's freezing. That's going to cause a lot of injuries, so we should at least get it to cold, because if it's at freezing, they'll constantly get ill and be injured, and that will just skyrocket. We actually need workplace insulation at this rate. And I really don't want to keep spending everything on insulation, but we're about to have another temperature drop, and that could just compromise everything if we don't treat it with respect.
Our elderly citizens are encouraged to pre-register their funerals at their local harvesting parlor.
I never get used to that line. That line always just sounds so morbid. Please pre-register your funeral at a harvesting parlor. I know I'm the one who signed the law, and I made it, you know, the law of the city, but that doesn't mean I'm okay with it. I would expect. That one is not one either. We're searching, what, 4 of them right now? But we might not get any of them at this rate. Yikes. Yes, we're kind of okay-ish on heat stamps now due to our population size. I'd rather get the adjustment to merit-based housing. That will make us a little bit better shelter capita-wise.
Our researchers.
I'm just gonna... So what just popped up there was asking us to share our feedback on the beta. You know, are we liking it? Are we hating it? How are we feeling? We're just gonna skip that because it's gonna open up a tab otherwise. We don't want to go there. Not while we're trying to not die. I don't like the fact that we didn't hear anything. Yep, another convoy that's not good. Oh, we might lose an RNG, and this is what happened last time. I found 2 of the 3 that I needed, and then we died. Injuries, just search it. I'm just gonna leave that alone. That's just the treasury. I'm not even touching that nonsense right now. We're not in a position for that. I'll take the prefabs. That's a materials. Gosh. Yeah, so we've had at least 4 fail on us now. Okay, so we've got to get more success soon, right? Right? I hope so, because another thing we're running out of increasingly is coal. Coal deposits are kind of drying up. In fact, we're accessing the last of our coal deposits now. So, yeah. We might use the overdrive for this next segment of wind chill. It's also why the insulation upgrade is becoming increasingly important. Because at least then we can, that's done. Reduce the amount that we're using. I'm gonna ask the foragers here for money. They actually like me enough to where I can ask that and they don't get upset. Which is highly unusual, I know. Yeah, we're gonna have to search a broken mountain or something at this rate as well. Another destroyed one? Jesus.
Remember.
I didn't want to look because I was scared it wouldn't be it. Okay, so some people died for that one. We're at 638. At least I'm told people died. We still need to find one more, and the one we're searching now is a moderate chance. That is cool, so let's search that way. And then, just out of pure blind hope, let's just start setting up the route for those. Because they do need to be connected to the factory itself. Violent protests, so we're nearing civil war. Need 36 guard squads, I have 32. They're protesting, actually not in the area with the security ones. How weird. Just so the Proteans don't radicalize even further and cause more tension, because we don't need even more tension right now. That's really not something we want. Yep, there's the 107 killed. Cool. Thanks, game. Just pop them all up. Gotta suppress the fighting in one district first. Just commend the militia. Can't really take these negatives. Next arrival's in 57 weeks. People, and is that the last wave? It is, so we're one wave away from getting through it. We're actually going to go ahead and use the overdrive for this segment, I think. No! The Apocalyptic Whiteout's in 111 weeks, and we probably will need it then, won't we? Not good. Okay.
Steward!
Attack the AC convoy connected. If you find any of the technology things that need a core to be built, you can either get prefabs from it if you've got the if you can't find any cores, like you've got that mission active like we do, you won't find a core there, you just salvage the core for prefabs. So not as great, but at least you get something out of it. Or you can get the technology, but I didn't choose to get the technology, so oh well. Okay, let's try to get that law passed here. Oh, 53, it passes. Because what we'll do then is we'll replace one of the headquarters with another Vanguard building, just so we can scout more spots at once. Try to gather what resources we can for the incoming whiteout, because this is going to absolutely murder us if we don't try to prepare for it. Make sure I'm clicking on the right button there. And as you can see, disease is back up to severe, but I blame the sick newcomers. I was also going to say I blame the person who brought them in, but the person was me, so we had to find a different scapegoat. Search this for more coal, because we're running out of coal here. I need to find another coal mine, even if temporary. We've got 21 weeks of coal left before we're running on reserves. And then the food deposits have to be accessed, because I need a food stockpile, and we're kind of going the other way around with that right now. Let's also try to get workplace insulation. We desperately need that too at this point. We have what we need for those kinds of upgrades. Oh, did that just run out? Yep. Good news is that there are plenty of materials we can still access. We just need to put in the effort to access them.
The Legionnaires are
Do it
collecting
fast.
donations.
There we go. Search these for food and materials for stockpiling purposes. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Steward!
Steward!
We'll at least get a warm period before it gets super cold again. So that'll give us something to work with. I know disease is going down at the moment. Oh, disease is going down at the moment. Oh, thank goodness. That's, whoops, sorry about that. No, it's another destroyed convoy. That's like, what, the 5th destroyed convoy we've had? Okay, so that one that we found, that has to be the last one, right? Because I don't see any other IEC convoys on the map. That's going to take 50 weeks. That has to be it, because we have found 2 of them, and then we had several destroyed ones. They're not on the map anymore because we've searched them, but we have this destroyed one here, that destroyed one, plus at least 3 more that we collected from, plus the one up there. I don't know. 50,000 coal, let's bring that back now because we're about to run out. Well, we're about to run out of coal to mine, I should say. Technically, we need a core for the colony. Never mind. I'm just slightly panicking because if we can't get those resources soon, we're going to be in deep trouble. Let's just go straight for advanced. Because we need to... Another issue is that we are getting a constant spread of disease. Which we also need to get our sick and injured down to a minimum level before we're done. So we'll work on the ones that are already active. I missed you, but you're about to run out of coal, but I'll do it anyway. Empowered management? No. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole right now. No, thank you. Let's not kick things off too early, yeah? Okay, I mean, I'm having my fun, but I feel like we're going to die. These are still pretty cold. The upgrade will bump it up at least one more level. It's just freezing, straight up. But disease is actually under control finally, so we've got that going for us. At least 34 weeks. Okay, I've got the extra search parties now. Take the resources. We'll just search for more food now, too. Because I'm hoping that's the last convoy. I think we've searched them all at this point. Ooh, eggs! We're gonna save these two here, the materials and the food, for a little later when we need to just start building up the stockpile. More materials that we can hold on, more food. Okay, this is good because we'll just grab those a little bit before the whiteout's gonna come in. And I was trying to find more stuff like that. There's all this coal out here. Food. Because we're gonna have to just grab it all at once at this point. I don't think there's any other way for us to prepare. Usually I don't use the materials. I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab one of those. I think that's it. I think that is the last one, and we have 40 weeks until it's done. If that is not it, I'm gonna be at a loss because I don't see anywhere else to search for cores. I don't see a third one on the map. I'm just checking now in case I missed it. I don't see it. So, yeah. We'll see. High crime in the city leads to stricter labor oversight. Oh, cool. I didn't know about this event. We can make it less effective. I'm just going to get the 200 heat stamps because, one, we have the money, two, I can solve this just by switching this back over a bit. And crime has now dipped below minor already. I'll take the money, but screw them. I wouldn't have it any other way. Good voice line. That's gonna get us, what, 200 a week? Something at least. I don't know how many materials we'll need, I just know that we're gonna need a bunch, so I'm just gonna plant 2 more of those down there. Because I think that's, what, only 50,000 each? That's only 50,000 each. We need to find one of those underground warehouses, if that's even possible. I don't even know if we can find those, honestly. I mean, we probably can't. Oh, God, burning out of coal at lightning speed now. I really need to find a coal mine instead. Badge of Shame. Wow, we finally got the Badge of Shame event. That only took several hundred weeks. But I've got no more coal in the city, and I can't use oil, I can't use steam. Our population just grew, which is not good. Oh boy. No, we need to save resources here. 7 weeks. Do I get any of them back in less than 7 weeks? I do. This one's about to finish in maybe 3. Hopefully it finds a coal mine. Campus transport, 50,000 coal. Coal mine, thank God. I want to build that mine, but let's grab the pieces of coal first, because otherwise the city is going to just shut down. Okay, another one just finished discovering, so even though we can't use oil yet, we'll just access the deposit now. Search this for coal. Common herd. Buried village. People who are coming to the city that I really wish weren't, but I'm gonna have to let them in anyway.
Our scout.
I guess we could stockpile the oil now anyway if we don't need it. Too many scouts, but I still don't like the idea. Meager coal mine. Might be meager, but it's still something we can utilize. I don't have the scouts. I never have the scouts. I need to harvest all the food I can because the time is very limited.
Steward.
Overdue fix, unproductive due maintenance. Oh! Heat stamps more effective at increasing efficiency. Yes, because we're okay on heat stamps now. So getting more production efficiency is honestly probably for the best. Oh god. We're gonna have almost no time to enact. So I'm gonna preempt settlement heating and the melting deep deposits now, because this has to be the last one. I see no other indicators to any of the adjacent areas for another search zone, so that has to give it to us. If it doesn't, we're just dead by RNG, and that will be unfortunate. But we'll deal with it. Speaking of dealing with things, we've got more people coming in, and if I don't preempt it now, we're gonna have a new problem. I don't want to build them over here, though, where there's not a lot of that stuff. One of those negatives, that is. You can expand, right? Yes, you can. Not ideal. It doesn't use the ideal amount of heat proximity, but let's actually save this spot right there for a medical post again, in case we need it. Okay. That won't last long, but we will take advantage of it. This is going to be the last wave. It's going to be a big one. We'll probably hit 50,000 people, honestly. I'm not even joking. Oh no, we found another one in a valley? No! You mean there's still more? So it probably won't give it to us and we're gonna die. Oh. Frostpunk 2, the game you love to hate and the game that loves to hate you. Apparently that relationship very much goes both ways at this point. We'll find out in 14 weeks, but I don't like our odds now. I was kind of relying on blind hope. Blind, optimistic hope. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I think we're going to die. Boiling machine humming to himself because we gave him the training to do it. We'll have the housing at least, but oh, we're not gonna have the housing. Never mind. Wow, that was 10,000 newcomers. Ooh boy, and they're extremely sick as before.
Steward.
Crime's diminishing. Our goods are very unmet though. Switch you back over to goods. I want to build more salvaging factories, but I'm worried that disease will be out of control again here. It probably will be. We have no food at all. I need deep deposits or else I will not be able to make food. I'm having to rely on foreign harvesting. Foreign harvesting? I don't know why I said that. We're harvesting the deers and stuff in order to get enough to survive. Low levels of hunger is something we can deal with. So we can expand this though in preparation. We've got 36 weeks, so expanding that's not good. Coal and Bell. Underground warehouse. We can at least use that to start getting more stockpiles going. But at this rate we may just die, so yay! But at least we can die with a stockpile to stare at. Right? I swear, If that one isn't one either, we are just so doomed. I don't even know what to do at that point. Oh yes, the melting drills can now be upgraded for an extra steam core where they'll give 2 temperature level to the building they're in. Very nice, very handy. I like it. Come on, please be 1. Oh god. We even searched one that had a significant chance for the RNG and we still couldn't find enough in time. Yeah, we might be doomed. The whiteout is gonna just dome us. Is this the last one then? The one in the valley? If it takes 50 weeks, we're just done. Deeply buried, some fatalities may occur, 20 weeks. So I may have 20 weeks to prepare for the whiteout before it hits. Oh god. Oh god, okay, I'm fine. I'm not sick or anything, I promise. I don't feel ill. I might feel a little ill. Okay, let's see. I might have to throw on... won't be able to do those if we have too many housing. I'm trying to think of alternatives here. Charcoal plants for emergency coal? Yeah, I guess that's gonna have to work. That's just gonna have to work. Just set up for that too. Just harvest whatever herds we find too to sustain ourselves because we're running out beyond that point. I need to search. It's just you next. Leave 5 behind so they can do stuff as needed. Let's grab that coal as well just to restockpile. I sincerely hope that the fatalities we incur for this one does get us what we're looking for. Because if not, I'm gonna be just heartbroken. We do have these extra coal mines as well that we're gonna kind of build towards. It's mostly to build towards what should be that final deposit, just so the weeks are done. There we go. Yeah. Because I don't know how we survive beyond that point.
Are you listening?
Steward. Steward.
Okay, let's get disease under control then. I didn't think... Oh, I already did that. Wow, I already did it. It's still not under control. That's a concern. I mean, I get it's because of the sick newcomers, but still, that's horrifying. Let's do 5 there. Let's just put 2 down as like an emergency, just to I can't read. I've stacked these districts too well. We'll just put them down as an emergency to get it under control. Charcoal regeneration eats that up now. Turn this off then. Regeneration is researched. I guess waste heat conversion. The heat would be good, but so would the efficiency. Let's just grab the efficiency, I guess. I don't think it'll pass. Just so we have something, we can say we did something. 2 weeks. Pray to God that this is it. Because if it's not it, we're done for. How? How is that not it? It has a significant chance. I literally had people die for it. I think the RNG might need to be rebalanced to guarantee that you'll get 3 after searching 9, because I think we've definitely searched 9. We'll go ahead to the whiteout anyway, but we're kind of losing due to RNG itself after exploring a decent chunk of the Frostland, because You see how none of these have the little indicator saying that there is a search zone? That means not a single one of these is going to give us one to search. Not a single one. So I'm starting to wonder if maybe we bugged something out here. Because it feels to me like the game is just gonna sentence us to death. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna go into a whiteout with no upgraded generator, which means we're going to die. Because the weather is gonna jump to like -9 from the current -4 it's sitting at, which is not good. It's 200 weeks, damage happens, and we are gonna need a bunch of materials that we don't have stockpiled because we're gonna need closer to 1 million. We're also not gonna be able to produce food. Also, our food deposits are running out because we can't access the deep deposits because there's no cores in the game. The first time I did this, you could find Steam cores. Not Steam cores. You could find 3. It wasn't too difficult. It was on Citizen difficulty, though. I don't know if that has any reason to do for it. We did Beacon of Hope right at the end, though. Oh, he's being collapsing. Sorry, I double-clicked there. That was funny. I don't know if we're gonna auto-fail depleted cores because the whiteout's gonna hit, and if that just means we fail. But if that's the case, then, you know, there wasn't much we could have done. I'm just gonna upgrade that to a skyway anyway, just in case. Yeah, no, there's not a third one. Because I see one there, I see one here, and I don't see another one anywhere else. Oh, there's another one right there, all the way in the glacier, in the extreme far north, distant from the city, past the sea of ice, glaciers, and broken mountains. Jesus. I've lost count of how many we've searched, so if someone wants to go back through the video and just count how many we went through, do let me know, because I think the narrative states that there's only supposed to be about 9 total, and I feel like we've searched more than 9. We're gonna die to the whiteout now, but I'm gonna at least say that we tried, and grumble about it as we freeze to death. We're not even gonna have the food to survive. We're just gonna starve to death. If it reset us back to -1 weather so it can give the proper weather. Oh yeah, by the way, the whiteout is a true apocalypse. As in, I'm sorry, the mouse is messing up again. It covers the entire map. Literally the entire map. So, yeah, we are going to die because we're not going to have coal for more than a couple hundred weeks. Our efficiency is going to just get absolutely nuked. And all the little mining outposts we have are going to shut down. So, that is fantastic. We are going to die. So, here it is. Waning trust, yeah, no kidding. Is it because everything just became freezing in the blink of an eye? Yeah, there's no way to generate enough heat for everything here. I don't think this would be possible without the upgraded generator, yeah. Oh, is it using all the heat for the generator itself? Is the generator using all the heat? And so, just to keep it sustained, so I can't even heat anywhere else with the whiteout? Oh, no. Really? I didn't think it would go that far. I thought I could at least maybe keep the housing districts chilly and just ride out the deaths, but no, we're just doomed. Yeah, no, we're just doomed. It's just over. Because this whiteout lasts 209 weeks. And let me run through various things. So we are technically producing enough coal because we can't use it all. So we're freezing to death. We run out of food in 4 weeks. And then we're going to produce about a third of what we need. So we're going to starve to death. And we're going to run out of materials in about 29 weeks. Because again, the production is dropped massively by the whiteout. Now, if we had to, like, the untreated sawmill running and say the deep melted drill over in this deposit, we could probably make probably about a good 700 to 800. We could half the number, double our time. Here's the event though. It's about 210 weeks long. And the bell has tolled. Children will be born and speak their first words, knowing no conditions other than this frozen hellscape. Yeah. It's 210 weeks of hell. The problem is that we have no cores. There's no way for the city to survive. And the only reason we could not do it was because we were unlucky with all the searches we did. I swear we have searched at least 9 convoys now. We found it in 2, and I know we did at least 5 others, so that's 7 guaranteed. But I swear we've done at least 9, and that this one would be number 10. Which, how much longer will it even take for them to search it? A while. Yeah. So this is kind of the end of the city, because it's gonna freeze to death. I do see we have a little bit of heat, actually. Maybe I can... Hang on, we do have a little bit of heat. Maybe I can work something out. I probably can't. This is just desperation. Even if I do, we're gonna starve to death anyway, so... It's not like I can solve this problem regardless. Oh god, even at maximum, it's only livable, so I can't even... Oh, the overdrive. Wait. I might be able to squeeze something out of it. I forgot about the overdrive. Oh, but this only makes a portion of them no longer freezing. Is this... I don't know if that's like actually holding up the slot or not. I'm trying to see if I can claw my way out of this hellscape despite not having an upgraded generator, but I'm pretty sure the answer is no, that we're just gonna freeze and die. I think that's the fate that awaits us. Yeah. Yeah. A heating hub or 2 would work to some extent, but those also require heat, so we'd just be kind of transferring its location. A few very well-placed heating hubs could help, but the main issue is just the generator's not upgraded. If we could use double the amount of heat, I could, with the overdrive, I could make this work for the housing districts at least. But I can't, and so people are going to start freezing to death. And yep, 409 dead right there. People are going to freeze to death. Trust is already at -22. We're going to die to trust if we don't die to the whiteout conditions that are currently ongoing outside in the city. Even tells you here how many people are in unlivable conditions, meaning people will die over time in them. So in this case, it's most of the city. 38,000 out of 50,000. I am going to go ahead and leave it here then, because we're going to die. This run is a failure, unfortunately, but mostly because of RNG. I think if we had the upgraded generator, we could have gotten the deep melting deposit. We could make food within survivable circumstances, not like guaranteed no one starves. And I think we could get materials to a point where it would last, since I would also use the maintenance hub here to kind of just reduce demand in these various spots right here. In fact, we could build a heating hub right here really quick just to see how it would look. But as you can see, we just had a ton of people die at once. Our trust just fell to 39. We also have no food now, so people are going to start starving to death. There's another death tick already. And as you can see, that heating hub actually took heat from the others, and it forced them down. So that's the issue, is just we can't use enough heat at all. But good to know that the heating hubs will get priority. Although, if we got the upgrade, it would only take 30 heat, which is a single level without the upgraded circuits, and with a good placement, yeah, you could warm a lot of these up. It would make it easier. It would also make it easier if I could just utilize the stockpiles and a deep melting drill in the coal deposit, which I know the whiteout would be nuking it, but at least we'd get it. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm gonna leave it here. Let me know what you think. This is the 1.3 update coming officially on May 8th. Access is ending Sunday tomorrow, like pretty early. There's only gonna be hours after this video is out. If you want to try to survive captive difficulty with all 3 of these, be my guest. It is certainly doable, and you might notice half the city needs to survive as well. So they actually expect you to take casualties on the higher difficulty levels. But yeah, so as the city revolts against the Steward because we couldn't upgrade the generator and everyone wants us to die, enjoy this beautiful screenshot, and I will see you guys later.